in Australia is where you met your now beautiful wife. How did you meet?
We met at Sydney at a Gymshark event. Both of us had significant others. And so we
looked each other in the eye, but like, let's leave each other for each other.
No, we went surfing like as a group. And I remember Morgan was super athletic. She was, super bubbly, but like we didn't have a whole lot of interaction over the weekend. We, again, like team dinners, it was like hi, bye. But like, I think.
You were high?
No, we were high. I don't drink, but no. It was like a hi, see you later. Like there was never like a sit down talk or anything. And then she came over for Gymshark to the US to collab with some athletes. I was like, yeah, like Gymshark like calls me up like, hey, do you want to collab with Morgan? I was like, yeah, Australians are fun. My videographer at the time, Alec, he was from Australia. And I was like, definitely. So she rolled out to Utah. I didn't even pick her up at the airport. I'm a bad person. She just shows up at my doorstep, and I remember early on, like Morgan she pressed my buttons. She made me like she would just know how to get under my skin.
How so?
Stepping on my Jordans, but like we'd be in the house and like she kept on doing it on purpose, and so again like there was just some banter there, and then again like so we collabed like 2 days. She left and she did her little tour. And then we started talking. By then, I was no longer with the person that I'd been dating. We kept in touch. We kept talking. And then she came over again. And that's where I think we kind of were like, oh, we're going to start dating.
Do people with Australian accents, do they text with the accent?
Nar.
No,
she...
I thought she was from New Jersey at first when I met her with that accent.
From Staten Island. Yeah, no, she says some weird words like... She uses one of my favorite things. She says that's feral. Like if I do something, or if I like, I don't know. It's feral is like you're disgusting. Like that's gross.
I don't know. I feel like if I ever dated someone or was like if
Taylor's gonna hear this, okay?
She's like, if you ever dated someone,
what do you mean?
With an accent, I feel like I would just, especially if it ever got heated, I don't think I could be serious about it.
I know.
Like if someone's like, if Morgan's really angry, have you ever just been like, did a dingo eat your baby? Huh?
There are. I think we're both.
Steve, no, I'm pissed off.
That was so good, actually. That was a really good Australian accent. I do think there's constantly times that we defuse the situation without even trying, because when she's like mad and she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, you're so cute. Like, oh, your little accent, you're so mad. Oh, you're so tough. And that just makes her more mad.
My favorite thing to do with people with accents is always like, hey, can you talk in an American accent? Yeah. And it's always like, I want to go get a cheeseburger.
Hers is, she goes straight California girl. Like, yeah, totally. Like, that's her go-to is like inland, like Valley, California girl.
Yeah.
So,
and how long into your dating or talking were you like, this is the one?
About a year.
About an hour.
Yeah, about a year. But that was the beauty of, I don't know how old I was when we started, 35, 34, 35, was that I had been in enough relationships, gotten divorced. I knew right away what a healthy relationship looked like, and I knew right away what I was looking for. And it was one of those things, again, my dad being like the typical like dad that wants to see his son married and have grandkids before he dies and things like that. He's like, Steve, like, what's the dating scene like? I always wanted to know what I was dating. He's like, you got to get out there.
I need grandkids.
Yeah, there's 4 billion people 4 billion, females in the world. You're telling me you're just going to sit at home. You're not going to get out there and look for them. And I'm like, so my joke with him is always like, she showed up at my doorstep, Dad. I didn't even go out.
That's when you go, Dad, so there's applesauce and peas and carrots, okay?
The birds and the bees.
And when you met Morgan, was your dad like, okay, son, I said there's 4 billion people in the world and you chose one that is 30 hours away.
Halfway across the world. My poor parents, after I got done filming The Biggest Loser, I had some time before it aired that I went to Australia and spent Christmas for the first time with Morgan, met her family. And my parents actually, they're like, oh, we'll come over. They're like, oh, we're down for an adventure. Bless their hearts, though. They do this thing where they love saving money. And I'm similar in a lot of ways, but like their flight back from Australia went like Brisbane, Sydney, Sydney to New Zealand, New Zealand to Hawaii, Hawaii to LA, LA to Boise.
It took us 80 hours, but only cost $100.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, they're like, oh no, we're fine. We slept on the floor in the airport. And I'm like, you guys can't be doing that. Like, if you ever fly to Australia again, make sure it's premium, like at least comfort. But if you can afford it, like that's one of the things I'm going to splurge on is like, I don't want to.
You need the lay down seat.
Yeah.
What is going on, guys? I am Max Tuning, your host. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. If you want to see the full, magical, lovely episode, just click the link down in the description or search Don't Be Sour on your favorite podcast streaming service. And remember, thank you for tuning in.